Will the aldermen please take their seats? Thank you. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the March 2nd, 2020 regular meeting of the Milford Board of Aldermen. At this time, I would like to recognize the Girl Scout troops to start us off in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please. Thank you very much. That was fantastic. Madam Secretary, will you please take the roll?
Alderman Beatty? Alderman Gaynor?
Here.
Alderman Genentasio?
Here.
Alderman Golden?
Here.
Alderman Grant?
Madam Secretary, Alderman Grant would like to be excused.
Alderman Hardiman? Alderman Harla? Alderman Parente? Alderman Frank Smith? Alderman Winthrop Smith?
Here.
Alderman Sutton?
Here.
Alderman Tranquilli?
Here.
Alderman Vitro?
Here.
Alderman Vitale? Alderman Willis? 14 present.
14 present. We do have a quorum. At this time, the mayor has a presentation. Mr. Mayor.
Well, good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Tonight, I am so pleased to be joined by some of Milford's most patriotic, civic-minded young citizens and the entire community for this, the week before Girl Scout Week. And on behalf of the city of Milford, I do have a formal proclamation which reads, whereas the year 2020 marks the 108th anniversary of Girl Scouts of the United States of America, the largest and most successful leadership program for girls in the entire world. And whereas Girl Scouts unleashes the GIRL, go-getter, innovator, risk-taker, leader in every girl, preparing her for a lifetime of leadership. Girl Scout combines time-tested, research-backed methods with exciting modern-day programming that speaks to today's girls and is designed to cater to the strengths of girl leadership and development. And whereas, as the world's premier leadership development organization for girls, Girl Scouts welcomes girls of all backgrounds and interests who want to develop the courage, confidence, and character to make the world a better place. Research shows that girls learn best in an all-girl, girl-led environment in which their specific needs are addressed and they are met. And whereas the Girl Scout Gold Award, the highest and most prestigious award in Girl Scouting, calls on Girl Scouts in grades 9 to 12 to take on projects that have a measurable and sustainable impact on the community by first assessing a need, designing a solution, and completing a project and inspiring others to sustain it. And whereas, with more than 100 years of experience, Girl Scouts brings a wealth of knowledge to programs that deliver girls the cornerstone experiences with benefits that last a lifetime. And whereas today, more than 5 million women are Girl Scout alum, and 2.6 million girls and adults are current members. Now, therefore, I, Benjamin Blake, Mayor of the City of Milford, on behalf of all the citizens of Milford, do hereby proclaim next week, March 8th through March 14th, 2020, as Girl Scout Week in the City of Milford, and look forward to working with all of you to make our community even better. Congratulations, girls.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and congratulations to you girls once again. The next portion of the meeting is devoted to public comment. Statements and are limited to the legislative function of the Board of Aldermen. The time limit granted to each speaker shall be 3 minutes. Residents, taxpayers, and electors may address the board at this time. The board encourages speakers not to express derogatory, insensitive, or offensive statements or to engage in personal attacks against individuals. In order to allow everyone an opportunity to speak, I'd ask that everyone please limit their comments to 3 minutes. Anyone wishing to address the board can do so at this time.
Hi. Thank you for having me. My name is Michelle Chutchin. I live on 10 Central Avenue. I've been a Milford resident all of my life. And I'm here to just shed some light on 5G because I've been talking to a few people about it here and there, be it at work or neighborhood.
Ma'am, excuse me, can you speak a little closer to the microphone?
Sure, thank you.
Thank
So
you.
I've been, yeah, I see the difference. I've been mentioning it to people here or there as my eyes have become wide open to the circumstance, and people don't seem to have an understanding of the magnitude of the strength of 5G and what it can do to the body, the level of radiation that it emits. And so I just wondered, because they're starting to put small towers up in Milford, what the awareness level is on the town level and what we're doing to combat any health risks this may pose, because there are really no scientific studies to show whether or not this is beneficial to the human body. We already know that 4G causes cancer. There are studies that are out regarding that. The Wi-Fi that currently operates on 2.4 gigahertz. The 5G will operate on 900 billion gigahertz. So it's a big difference, and I know that cell towers are going up all throughout Milford. So I'm just here to kind of pick your brain and ask you what we're doing collectively, and maybe even to educate some people that are unaware that we need to pose like a united voice and a concern in general. I was told at the state level perhaps, but I just would hate to sit idle and see the next generation and the generations thereafter have to pay for our complacency or ignorance with a matter so great. So I'm just here to figure out, what can I do as an individual? What can we do as a city? And what you guys might suggest, because I almost feel like there's an unawareness and it could bite us at some point.
Ma'am, we need to get your name and address one more time, please.
Sure. Michelle, M-I-C-H-E-L-E. My last name is Chutchin, C-H-U-T-J-I-A-N. My address is 10 Central Avenue, Milford, Connecticut, 06460.
Thank you, and thank you for your comments. Is there anything else?
I'm just curious, can somebody answer me as to whether or not there's an awareness on this level that there's a general concern for health in Milford regarding the rollout of 5G? I mean, is there a place that we can comment, Mayor Blake? Like, I don't know the order, I'm not being sarcastic. I don't know the order of these meetings, so.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, through you, this is just a public comment. I'm happy to meet with you either later this evening or schedule a time over the course of the next couple of weeks to share some of the resources.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else who would like to address the board at this time? Seeing none, we'll open under agenda item number 3. Alderman Sutton, consideration of minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move for the minutes of the regular meeting of the Board of Aldermen held on February 3, 2020 to be approved as posted.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Agenda item number 4, there was no special meeting. Agenda number 5, Chairman's report. First of all, I'd like to wish everyone a happy spring, coming up in a couple of weeks. And also, I'd like to recognize Alderman Marty St. Patrick's Day Hardiman for his announcement. Marty?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today marked the start of the St. Patrick's Day month. We had the flag raising in the city. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And it was quite well received. March 8th, I am holding a pancake breakfast at the Masonic Hall next to Milford Bank. It's going to be from 8 to 1. There's going to be pancakes, eggs, sausage, pastries, coffee, juice, milk, whatever you want. And if you're still hungry after that, and it only costs $8, but if you're still hungry after that, just come in the kitchen and see me and I'll give you another plate. No problem. So, but that's going to be March 8th. The parade this year, and I'd like to point out, is the second largest parade in the state of Connecticut. And it's going to be on March 14th. Step-off time will be 1 o'clock. That is pretty much it.
Thank you, Alderman Hardiman.
Thank you.
And also for the aldermen that have received this message from the Milford Public Schools, there is a mistake on the location and date. You need to write this down. It needs to be April 2nd, 2020, from 6 to 8 at the Jonathan Law High School. I think was previously mentioned it was going to be at Matheson, but that was a mistake. So this is the book talk we're speaking of. So it's going to be at Jonathan Law High School, Teaching and Learning Commons, April 2nd, 2020, from 6 to 8 p.m. Just want to make sure everybody got that correction. Thank you. Open under agenda item number 6, Mayor's report and recommendations. Is there a report from the mayor? Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, in addition to the flag-raising ceremony that Alderman Hardiman alluded to, today also marked a new era in the Borough of Woodmont Signal Rock, for which the former flagpole stood for about 135 years. A new pole was replaced today. An American flag now flies in that new pole. It does look magnificent, and we're hoping this one lasts 135 years as well. So if you drive by, I know that for the last several months, the city of Milford, the borough of Woodmont, just didn't look the same. That pole had been structurally compromised. There was a large fissure in that pole, a crack, which made it dangerous for the borough to fly that flag. And the pole has been replaced. It was an engineering feat. But it was done in about 4 to 6 hours. So congratulations to the Borough of Woodmont and to all the stakeholders for getting that done. It really does look fantastic. One other community thing that I did want to update the city of Milford on is an issue that has been gripping not just this local community, the state, the nation, but the world, and that is the coronavirus. I know that most of the media that folks get these days, there is that focus because it is such a critical issue at this point. It does pervade a lot of what we are doing here in the city of Milford. Since the end of January, Milford's health department has been monitoring the coronavirus, making sure that the citizens of Milford are safe and secure. We have been working with the CDC, we've been working with the Connecticut Department of Health, on a very regular basis. There was an interdepartmental meeting today again. We have adjusted all of our pandemic planning protocols so that we have updates for our businesses, updates for our schools, updates for our city operations, and we're going to be continuing to stay vigilant. I know that it is something that is on the tip of everybody's mind, so I wanted to give everybody a brief update. Other than that, I respectfully request your consideration and action, those items on the agenda 8A through 8E. If you have any questions, I am here to answer those, as are members of the city staff.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next item on the agenda is unfinished business. There is none.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I don't know.
Alderman Vitale.
I don't know if it's appropriate at this point in time because it seems to be unfinished, not finished, I don't know. But through you, through the mayor, usually at this point in time, at the second meeting, we got a copy of the mayor's budget, but we have not received the copy of the mayor's budget. Can you tell me if we're going to get one?
We will see if we can track one down this evening for each of the aldermen. They are all online. We will see if we can get you a hard copy tonight. If not tonight, one will be delivered to your homes tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
They are around. We just are looking to locate them.
You're welcome. Alderman Parente.
Through you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Mayor, could you just tell the residents of Milford where the very best information is for them to find right now, most up-to-date information accessible either on the web or somewhere else like that?
I would say check with the Department of Health website, check with for local information about coronavirus, check with the City of Milford's Department of Public Health website, the Connecticut Department of Health website, and the CDC website. One thing that I would urge all residents to do, especially if they're traveling, make sure that you look at the alerts that the CDC publishes on a hourly basis. Please make sure before any travel that you look at those travel alerts, and then just practice sensible respiratory care. Things like when you sneeze into your elbow, make sure you wash your hands, especially during flu season, but with this heightened threat of the coronavirus, just take sensible protocols.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We'll now open under agenda item number 8, new business. Alderman Sutton, agenda item number 8A, board and commission appointments.
Mr. Chairman, I move for Board of Aldermen approval of the appointments of Andrew Belden, 26 Pond Street, as a member of the Historic District Commission south of the Green, term to expire December 31, 2023. Andrew V. Kozlowski, 21 Gunn Street, as an alternate member of the Historic District Commission south of the Green, term to expire December 31, 2025. And Lori Quinn, 34 High Street, as an alternate member of the Historic District Commission south of the Green, term to expire December 31, 2022.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Alderman Sutton, agenda item number 8B.
Mr. Chairman, I move for Board of Aldermen approval of the appointment of Peter D. Cozzolino, 31 Gulfview Court, as a member of the Economic Development Commission, term to expire December 31, 2022.
A motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Alderman Sutton, agenda item number 8C.
Mr. Chairman, I move for Board of Aldermen approval of the appointment of John K. Anderson, 247 Broadway, as a member of the Ethics Commission, term to expire December 31, 2021.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. At this time, will all of our newly confirmed board and commission members come to the front of the auditorium to be sworn in by our city clerk?
Hi, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will faithfully execute and discharge your duties and responsibilities according to law as a member of your respective board or commission to the best of your ability, so help you God? Okay, congratulations. Just going to ask you to step over here.
Next item agenda is 8D, Alderman Sutton. Agenda item 8D.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Board of Aldermen approve the request for the City of Milford to submit an application for the attached 2020 Distracted Driving High Visibility Enforcement Grant and to authorize the Mayor, Chief of Police, and/or City Attorney's Office to take all steps necessary, including signing all documents, to effectuate said grant.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Alderman Genitazio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, I see someone from the police department that's here this evening. If they could approach the podium for a question.
Mr. Chair, Lieutenant Dunn is here with us this evening. He may be able to answer questions that pertain to this grant in the Milford Police Department.
Good evening, Lieutenant Dunn.
Good evening.
I'm somewhat familiar with the grant. However, it does not spell out the dollar amount of the grant that will be received. Would you happen to know the exact dollar amount?
I do not. It was submitted by Captain Marshner, who's in charge of it, who's not here this evening.
Okay, and just to follow up, one other question through you, Mr. Chairman. Do you know the areas of enforcement? I know that this is specified for cellular phone specifically, but do you know where they're going to actually set up and enforce?
Usually we do it where in a visible area where there's a lot of traffic, where traffic moves slower in a safe area. Usually we have a spotter who will spot the violations and other officers that will take the enforcement. It could be various locations.
One last question through you, Mr. Chairman. Do you know what the grant money, once it's received, what it's going to be used for?
It would be used for this distracted driving high visibility enforcement grant. That's what it's specified to be used for.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Chairman, just to clarify, this is a reimbursable grant where 100% of eligible overtime that we put in is reimbursed up to a cap of $30,000. So it will be a $30,000 reimbursable grant.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Genitazio.
Mr. Chairman, I do have another question.
Alderman Winsmith. Sorry, Lieutenant.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you. Good evening, Lieutenant Dunn. Sorry about that.
How you doing?
I was wondering if you'd be able to tell me exactly what the officers would be undertaking as they go through this new policy or whatever you'd like to call this.
They would be concentrating on distracted driving enforcement.
And how do they do that?
What we normally do is we have somebody would spot the violator, and officers would pull them over and take their enforcement action.
And if they do catch someone with a distracted driving, how much exactly would the specific ticket be?
I'm not sure the exact price, it just went up, but it's over $100. I'd have to have a ticket book in front of me. I don't mean to make excuses. I'm a shift commander. I normally not out there issuing tickets.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Through you, Mr. Chairman, I was just wondering, would you happen to know then where that money would go when the tickets are issued and the specific person does in fact pay that fine if they don't fight it in court?
Mr. Chairman, just to clarify, a first offense is a $150 violation. They get progressively more. A portion of the fine does return back to the locality, back to Milford, and the majority of the fine does go to the state.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All set. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Any more questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is 8E, Alderman Sutton.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Board of Aldermen approve the requested allocation transfer number 4 for golf course maintenance.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Alderman Giannatasio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, I see some members of the Golf Course Commission. I would just like to know specifically what the money's going to be used for as far as maintenance, what the plan is. If you could approach the podium, please. Thank you.
George Amato, Chairman of the Golf Commission. I have with me Dan Worrell. Dan is Chairman of Finance and the Golf Commission. I also have Nick Beccarelli, who is the liaison from the Golf Commission to the board. Basically, what we have is an ongoing project. As you know, you're dealing with a living and breathing piece of property here in the city, and consequently, Mother Nature has a tendency, like I say, to keep growing the grass and the trees and everything else that you see on a golf course. So it's an ongoing affair. But we did provide in our request an outline, primarily of things that are going to be done at the course, on the course itself, and at the clubhouse that justifies the amount that we look for in the transfer. Very briefly, like I say, not to take up as much of your time, but I will quickly try to outline some of the items that are going to be addressed. And incidentally, what we did, periodically what we do is we bring an outside source in, which we did this past year, a golf course architect, to kind of review the course and again look to see what, if anything, could be done in case of the course, not only in upkeep, but to keep advancing play, to move play along, to keep the course in a very prime, which we think one of the most outstanding 9-hole golf courses that you'll find in this general area, which has been talked upon, I think, from many of the residents who use the facility. But just to quickly outline a couple of things that and we are going to go forward on this. First of all, the ice machine at the course, in the course, has to be replaced. We provide, like I say, water on the course for the players on the course, and the machine that we had there has has been at being under repair for a number of years now, and so it has to be replaced. We also have put out onto the course itself additional trash cans, recycling bins, and we find that this has been very beneficial in keeping the course in good condition. But it also, we worked it out with the, as far as recycling, with the Boy Scout troops, anything that is collected on the course, they pick up and, like I say, and becomes part of, like I say, a project for them and also something that could benefit them. We need some fencing extensions and repair. We did have some minor, and I want to emphasize minor damage at the course over the winter where someone was able to get access onto the course through the driveway section into the parking lot. What we, with the help of Public Works, they did put some large boulders in the area to prevent that, but we'd like to extend the fencing and some fence repair just to make sure, like I say, all of that is secured. The furnace chimney at the clubhouse currently is on an angle that is in an issue that has to be repaired because this may cause leaking in the piping for the furnace room. Also, as part of the speed up of play, we are adding new tee box markers and so forth. It's a very minor cost and all of them, but this was part of the overall look at the course. Of course, then, like I say, there's the general. Sand needs to be purchased for the replenishment of the, the sand traps and the bunkers. Supplies of topsoil, of course. This is an ongoing thing, as I said, because we're dealing with a living, breathing property out there. And the commission would also is going to would like to clear and refurbish the snow shelf on North Street because it's just has gotten to a point with the tree limbs falling and so forth. But we have worked it out with management that as we clean this out, that management would, even though it's on the other side and it's facing on North Street, on the other side of the property, they will maintain it. And of course, there's, I'll just continue looking on here. There's the routine maintenance, like I say, and repairs to the clubhouse. That includes, the carpeting, electric. This is just general, the cleaning and plumbing repair, which must, that we continuously work on a year-to-year basis. And the other thing is a further upgrade to the emergency call box, which is located at the furthest point from the clubhouse. The call box has been used several times over the year for emergency on the course. The commission would like to upgrade the box to be solar powered, like the call boxes at Silver Sands State Park, and this would reduce expense of batteries and other maintenance. This box is almost 15 years old, and the location of the box can be moved so that it could also be utilized for the North Street project, the 701 North Street project. A few other items on here. Sprinkler systems repair on the course. This is an ongoing event, like I say, that we continuously try to work with. And the commission has required the management company to store the additional golf carts. Golf carts are very popular now at the course here, and we have been making substantial income from the golf carts and all them, but it's a question of storage. And so in the maintenance building that we have on site, we need an additional charging stations for such because we've gotten to the point now where we don't just have room to store these, and of course we have to keep them, stored to the point, like I say, that you just can't leave carts, out in the open. Now, another thing is additional concrete pads may be needed for the new benches that are being purchased by individuals, which is no cost to the commission, but we do provide, like I say, they provide a pass. And then finally, as I said, because it's an ongoing project, like I say, as far as nature goes, there's selected tree trimming and stump removal of previously removed trees and the replacement of planting of new trees. So we're continuously trying to recycle, like I say, bringing on, taking out, and basically that kind of outlines. And as I said, this was broken down by the commission arbitrarily. You know, we don't just say, okay, we'd like to come in front of your board and just get this transfer to go. Is an extensive, just as your board does, extensive research that goes into exactly what has to be done, and we try to break it down, and we try to get the estimates, try to get the costs before we come in front of your board to ask for the transfer, and that's what has been done. And Danny's, you know, like I say, is in head of finance on the board, and if you have any further questions, you could probably address those.
Through you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Amato, for the explanation. All those do seem like reasonable requests. Just one final question. So with all that you, information that you just shared with us, the total amount will be 30,000?
30,000, yes.
Okay.
And it's a transfer, like I say, we're not asking for new money.
Well, we appreciate all the work that you do down there, and, you know, we're here to help as well. So good luck with the season, the upcoming season.
Thank you, and it should be, the way this weather has been, we expect the course to be open this month.
Okay, that's great news. Thank you.
And I thank the board for all its support in the past.
Alderman Beatty.
Through you, Mr. Chairperson, and specifically to Dan Worrell, thank you. I had the opportunity to utilize the venue that is open to the public. One can book the venue and use it as a community room for parties. The feedback was very positive. You have this public access in your town, and I wanted to give you a chance to elaborate on that. When we spoke, the idea was to keep the costs as reasonable as possible. Is that still so? And maybe you can just give a little summary, you'll be in the public record, of how that very feasible to book venue and Pleasant is available to residents.
For some of you that don't know, we used to store the carts in the clubhouse, and wasn't really a great idea. You had oil, you had gasoline in there. So we built a maintenance shed, and some of the carts most of the carts are stored there. The back room has been refurbished, and it is available for rental at a very reasonable price. And the city does get 15% of the rental fee. The management company is responsible for insurance and having someone there during the event. So it's been used. It's starting to be used more and more now with events from businesses throughout the city. So it is available. We're going to be pushing it a little bit more as far as advertising and social media go. So it's another place in Milford that you can rent out. No, you can contact anybody at the golf course. All the employees there have the necessary paperwork and requirements that you need to rent it out, insurance, et cetera, in addition to the insurance that the management company has.
Alderman Willis.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Worrell, how much does that cost approximately to rent that space out?
Approximately, don't hold me to it. It's $150 at 3 hours. Now, keep in mind, they pay their staff to be there during those 3 hours also. Okay. 15% of the fee goes back to the city.
Any more discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Dan, and
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, George.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick, back there. Next item on the agenda, agenda number 9, new business tonight. There is no new business. Open under agenda item number 10. There are no budget memo transfers. Agenda item number 11, moving on to refunds. Alderman Sutton, agenda item 11A.
Mr. Chairman, I move for approval of the refunds in the amount of $77,236.16.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Open under agenda number 12. Are there any reports from any of the standing committees? Seeing none. Open under agenda item number 13. Are there any reports from any of the special committees? Alderman Giannattasio.
Mr. Chairman, through you, I don't know if the Public Works Committee is standing or special. It's standing? Okay, I apologize. But what I'd like to share is at our last meeting, Director Saley distributed the street paving lists. So this is some very good information that we have. And I know there's been some discussion about it in the past at these meetings as far as what streets are going to be paved. And, you know, this is just a rough scenario of what streets are flagged to be paved. So I just wanted to update the board. If they see Director Saley or see me after the meeting, I do have a list. And hopefully your street is one of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Giannattasio. Are there any other reports of special committees? Seeing none, we'll open under agenda item number 14, executive session. I will entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss 14A, consideration of settlement of R.J. Milford LLC versus Milford regarding 1645 Boston Post Road. Joining us in executive session will be the Mayor, Ben Blake, the City Attorney, John Bertram, and the City Assessor. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to executive session under the terms you spoke.
Motion has been made and seconded to go in executive session. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We're in executive session. Thank you. Will the aldermen please take their seats? We are out of executive session. Alderman Sutton.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the settlement of R.J. Milford LLC v. City of Milford regarding 1645 Boston Post Road as recommended by the city attorney and the acting city assessor.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
A motion to adjourn was made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.